Hey friends, it's Ocean. Welcome back to the channel. Cozy up, Buttercup, because we are watching as a speed build today. I actually wish I could place an X over the speed build part because I tried not to make it too fast. I know that can be kind of distracting for the mind. I know me, I really don't like watching speed builds. I'd rather them in real time, but I do watch speed builds to gain an understanding of building. That's what I've been doing recently. Specifically, I have been on my girl Sim Lissy's page heavy. Okay. So if she has an extra, 100,000 views on a lot of her old videos, it's probably from me because I'm watching them over and over and over again, trying to study them. But today I present to you a build that really inspired me. I saw it on Pinterest and I said, you know what, out of all the builds I pin on Pinterest, let me just go ahead and try to build this one. It's very easy. It's a box, as Sim Lissy would say. Not Sim Lissy, Lil Simsy. It's just a box. And so I thought, you know what, this would be easy. And I got really passionate about it because these are the type of homes that I see in, like kind of near my neighborhood. So these homes were probably built, 1920s, 1930s. It's just a really, really small home, and they don't build homes like this anymore. And that's when I started to get really sad about it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to post this build and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to create more homes like this, homes that have charming personalities, homes that do not look like every other home in the neighborhood. They don't build them like that anymore. Where I live, if they take down a ton of trees, they will replace that lot with a high-rise apartment complex or a new development neighborhood that no one can afford except for lawyers and doctors and bigger YouTubers than me. and they make these homes that look like everything else, like everyone else's home. It's just, you pick your layout and everyone's house looks the same except for the color of their shutters. Like there's no personality to it. But then you can go, a couple blocks down that road and you'll see these really cute, small, charming homes where you'll see a home like the one that I'm building. And then next to it, you'll see a fully brick house. And then you'll see a house with brick and vinyl. And then, it's just so unique. And that's what I miss. And the other day, I actually visited my grandpa, which had been a while, and it reminded me of this home that I was already in the process of building because this took me 2 days to build, and now I'm just editing the footage and doing a voiceover. And I thought to myself, wow, this home felt way bigger when I was a kid and I used to visit here. It felt way bigger. And it was so funny because me and my cousin were talking and he said, well, you're bigger. You're an adult now. You're older now. You're bigger. So now the home isn't as big as what I thought it was, but the rooms are smaller and the living room area is smaller, and I love that. I think that is so cozy. I could live with that. When I get older, I just want a really small home, and luckily I live in a home and it's not that big and it's just perfect. I love it, but I really, really want a ranch style home. Give me some land. Might have a chicken coop. I'm kind of like with that vibe. Want a little garden, not too close to too many people. And I really want a one-story kind of like long ranch style home. That is my dream home. So maybe that'll be the next build. Ocean builds her dream home, and then you expect it to be like a mansion or the other dream homes, and then it is literally a one-story ranch. Yep, that's me. But I love it. I love those homes. A lot of the homes that I also like are featured in the Winbrook save file that I've covered. I've covered that save file, and I absolutely just instantly knew, oh gosh, I love this. I relate to this so much. I need it. I really, really love it. And also, if what was I going to say? Silent Pines, that save file as well. I love the homes in that save file. I'll link both of those down below in the description. But let's get into the build now that we've chit chat about things that I like. I wanted this home to feel lived in, but not too cluttered. I wanted you to be able to have space to walk around and place whatever furnishings you like in the game. I struggle between being that builder that kind of overclutters and makes it look really nice and lived in versus making it playable, because I play the game more than I build in it. So I'm like, you know what? It has to be playable, which I will say, if you're looking for playable houses. I have to give it to her. Little Simsy actually makes really nice playable houses. I know I don't use a lot of her work, but I have before. There are a ton of different builders like Honey May Sims, Sim Cubes, Jen 2606 on the gallery, which is Urban Sims. This is just like me like rambling off the top of my head, but these are creators that make builds that you can function in, and nothing kind of conflicts with everything else, and you don't have to figure out certain things. Also, Sim Lissy, she used to really clutter her builds a lot, and I find that now her builds are just the right amount of clutter. So I really am inspired by her building style as well, especially with Cece. I don't know if you all watch Sim Lissy with Cece. This is turning into a Sim Lissy appreciation video. I hope she does not come across this because I sound like a fangirl, but girl, you do your thing in the Sims 4 build mode. I have to say, I mean, literally the Sims 4 build mode is the best in the franchise. That's my opinion. Don't throw tomatoes at me, but it is the only game in the franchise where I felt confident enough to use items and to actually build a home and to pretend that I'm an architect, because I can't do that in the other games. And I will honestly say I am bougie. The items look better in The Sims 4. They just do. They look better. And I am a visual person. Graphics actually mean something to me. I hate being that bougie girl. I hate that. Like, I love The Sims 2. That is my baby. The Sims 2 is my baby. But because the graphics just aren't hitting like this, like, I can't play her for long, And the gameplay is so good. It's so good. And I could play that game for hours. But it's just like a baby version of The Sims 4, Like, I feel like the graphics were ahead of its time when it came out. It was like revolutionary, but still. But anyways, let's talk about the kitchen. The kitchen is all brown. If I am going to make anything cozy, it's going to be brown. I'm sorry. You have to like brown if you want to like this build, because that is exactly what I was going for. And I love the fact that these cottage living counters, they just fit so good. The cabinets with the counters, it's such a good look. I was torn between using the country kitchen kit and cottage living, but I really like the swatches for the cottage living kit, and I just love the way that the cabinets look with it as well. But I added some, a little bit of decor, some cabinets. I feel like this has always been the staple of the home in regards to mom and dad and the son just cooking in here, throwing flour on their face, making cookies. And I remember mom making cookies and she threw flour on my face, like that kind of kitchen. Very wholesome, very wholesome. I was struggling to determine a dining space for this home. And sometimes you don't need a dining space. I realize that. The dining space is whatever you want to make it, In bigger homes, you do have a designated, or even in just certain layouts, you do have a designated dining space area. But in, my grandpa's home, for instance, and in the home that I grew up in, the dining space we used as an extra living room. And then in my grandma's home, the dining area is in the kitchen. So I kind of did that. I just kind of tucked in a little dining table, a little round circle table on the side, and hey, if you want to have your breakfast there, that's fine. But I feel like the son, growing up, probably ate his cereal right in front of the TV or at the table. There are only 2 chairs because obviously he's not there anymore, but I would imagine there was another chair, but I don't know, maybe it broke and we don't need it anymore because our son is an adult. He's off to college. So don't judge, or maybe we just didn't have space. The truth is we didn't have space, so I just had 2 chairs. But I'm using a lot of The Sims 4 Horse Ranch. I was surprised that I was using, I won't say a lot because I don't have a lot of items here, but the Horse Ranch expansion pack, the build and buy items, were actually getting used here. Like the radio, or what would you call this old fashioned radio thing? Anyway, the leather couch, it just really fit. And also there is a sale on packs right now. So if you'd like to go ahead and use my code OceanSims at checkout on the EA app or thesims.com, you can definitely do that. That helps me out. Again, you do not have to go to the EA app and buy a pack in the sake of my name. But I'm just letting you know that if you were to buy packs, if you planned on it, if someone was like, hey, here's $20, and you're like, yes, I'm going to go purchase The Sims 4 Horse Ranch now. you can help me out by using my code. I really do appreciate it. Because contrary to popular belief, not all YouTubers are rich. I used to think that, like, before I did before I did YouTube, I thought that YouTubers made money, and they do. I'm just not one of them, I'm just not one of them. So I used to think that someone with my numbers, quote unquote, made a certain amount, and that it's, yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just being real with you. So I really do appreciate your support. I need to make that known. But I use the Home Chef Hustle little berries and that little decor object on the counter. I love that. I want more things like that, like open cans of food or little maybe more messes that you can use as a rug or decal just to make things look messy. Just little clutter items that look present, like it just happened. So I like those open containers of berries and stuff. I put that in there. In the bathroom, I was super duper confused. I wanted to use the country kitchen counters for the cabinets here, and that was a mistake because it just wasn't cohesive. So I used the cottage living expansion pack things again, and I try not to use these kits, you all. I really do. I try not to use kits, but I get suckered in every time because there are little tiny things. I mean, you can see here the decor items in the bathroom, the bath mat, the soap bottle, the dentures on the sink, the hair dryer underneath the counter, the cabinet or whatever. Yeah, it's from a kit, and I hate it because I'm like, this is a no CC build. I don't want to make it harder for people, to feel like this house is furnished because they don't have 6 kits. I really try, but I just can't help it. I just love them so much. They knew what they were doing when they made the clutter kit too, because that's something I need. Truthfully, something I need. Here we are in the parents' bedroom, more brown. How you liking the brown? But it's more brown. I feel like this house looks like a brown like a chocolate cake, and chocolate cake is comfort food. So I feel like it's hard for me not to equate brown with comfort, and I love it. I'm going to try, I think on my next build, to make a lighter palette cozy and comforting, because I really played it safe and fell into my normal habits. And so I'm trying to also be different in my building. But when you're like me and you never build, you just go with what you're comfortable with. But I love the parents' room, and I love that they have a nice little space, like an L-shaped bedroom. I don't typically do that often, and here I go again using kits for decor. But yeah, they like gardening. I imagine the mom and the dad love gardening, so I added some planters and this nice little, what is this, from the Blooming, gosh, I don't know what kit this is. I think what I will do is oh no, the gallery already does this. It lets you know what packs I've used. But maybe people should start putting that in the description as well, because it can be hard to tell with all those icons. That might give you a headache. Would you all like it if I put like in the description, if I put which packs I use, just so like you're already aware? Just let me know. But this is absolutely no CC. I definitely didn't want to use any CC in this build, because I do have an apartment build where I use CC. I just let myself run wild before I started deleting more CC, only to replace it again with more CC. Oh my gosh, it's an oxymoron. But I have another build that I'm thinking about putting up because I'm really proud of. It's an apartment build, but I don't plan on sharing it because I think I'm going to use it for one of my Sims. And I'm weird like that. If I'm going to use it, and I know I'm going to use it, like in a personal way, I'm like, I don't want to share this right now. But I don't know, I might end up sharing it, but it just has a lot of CC, and I just don't feel like linking all of that, if I'm being honest. But here's the son's bedroom. As you can see, he still has a ton of things that he needs to come back and get. Maybe he'll never get it. It's kind of like the Toy Story situation with Andy leaving the toys. That's what I envision for the son, But here I'm just doing some landscaping on the outside. You see I added the bunny tree stump where like bunnies will come out. So if you play on the slide, you'll see a little rabbit come out, and I just love that. With the cottage living, I'm telling you, cottage living slaps too. Cottage living and horse ranch, that's actually a vibe, which it's common sense. Of course they go great together, but I find that those 2 packs really stood out for me in building this. I don't know if you all can hear the birds in my background, but there are a lot of birds outside. They've been going crazy this spring, and I love it. It sounds so beautiful. But they're up at like 5 a.m. That was another thing. I was thinking about adding the birds that came with cottage living, or the rabbits, but I thought, it'd probably be nice if you were like, out in your garden here on this lot, and then all of a sudden you see a little bunny. Ooh, So cute. So I plan on building a little bit more in New Christ. New Christ is like that safe space for me. And I don't know, maybe we'll build it up. I'm not even going to apply pressure on myself like that. But I just know that I really, really like this build, and I hope you did too. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just keep simming. Always, always, always stay wavy. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. All right, peace out.